Hello, we are Team Phoenix and my name is Corey. Our report is about pupils going up the street in break. We wanted to find out whether or not this was a good thing, so we decided to ask some of the shopkeepers and find out if the canteen was affected or not. We've heard what the shopkeepers had to say. Now we've interviewed the canteen boss. Do you think more people go up the street than come to the canteen? And why do you think this is?
A lot of people go up the street and have a lot of customers as well. On a wet day, we are really busy, but on a dry day, a lot of the children go up the street. And a lot of children go up the street because we are unable to give the children what they want to eat, e.g. chips and cheese, chocolate, fizzy drinks, kind of toys, that's kind of things.
Okay. How does this affect the canteen?
Pardon?
How does this affect the canteen?
Well, it's just we haven't got so much money coming in, so it's what happens.
And how many meals a week do you make on average, and how much do you think of that goes to waste?
Oh, well, we do possibly about 2,000 odd meals a week, and you maybe waste about 60.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, over a week it's not a lot. You think 15 meals a day and 100. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay?
Go. So we've heard from the places where you can get lunch during school time, so we decided to ask some of the pupils where they went for their lunch and why. Did you go for lunch?
For lunch I go for Windows Center, but today I'm going for the canteen.
Asda's or Tesco's.
My house.
I go up the street to Sinclair's.
And why do you choose to go there?
It's just sort of like an easy place to go, and the food is quite good, and it's not very expensive. Because it's cheap.
Thank you.
Got good food.
Because I'm diabetic, so I have
To get my lunch, I suppose.
What could the canteen do to encourage you to use the facilities at school more often?
I think the canteen should have like a more like varied sort of choice of foods, and I'm a vegetarian, so like the stuff that they do provide isn't like the stuff they do provide I wouldn't generally go for, but
Cheaper food.
Probably do gluten-free stuff because I have to gluten-free food.
Okay. Thank you.
Put out good food, and some of it doesn't taste like.
Thank you. Find out some disadvantages of the pupils going on the street. We spoke to the deputy head to find out what actually goes on up there. Stop. Would you prefer more people to use the canteen and why?
I'd certainly prefer more people to use the canteen. The canteen staff provide very nutritious food, very speedy service, a great variety of food, and all the food that they do serve is audited by Aberdeenshire Council, the Scottish Government, to make sure it is in fact healthy food, so make sure that young growing bodies get what they need in life.
And do members of the public get in touch if there's any bad behaviour up the street?
Yep, members of the public often get in touch, particularly in extreme circumstances, but we welcome that because that's the only way we can support the community and support pupils to address the behaviour so they understand what's acceptable and unacceptable behaviour in the community, because they are, after all, representing the Gordon schools.
And what are your thoughts on the pupils going up the street?
Pupils going up the street is good on a number of levels. Local businesses, often some of the fast food outlets, the bakers for example, they need the support from the pupils for their business to thrive. Also, pupils outside of school go up the street all the time in their spare time. They need to be able to show that they're role models, they need to be able to show that they've learned social skills and demonstrate that in the community. So I have no objections to that. The difficulties of people going up the street is often perception. If there are large groups of people just going up the street having a good time, it can be seen by members of the community, particularly vulnerable ones, as something a bit more threatening. So people just have to be aware of where they are and what it looks like when they're going up the street.
And would it be better if there was any more areas around the school for the kids to hang around during the break?
It would definitely be better if we could have more social space. We've been working with the Huntly Development Trust and we showed them the Brunton area the other day, the area where the roof has caved in and fallen off the school, and we were talking about that as a possible social space, and we'd be delighted to work with anyone to try and create more space. The S6 in fact are actually going to get their own small common room in the canteen next year just to give them a bit more space.
And would there be an opportunity for more bench areas around the school to be placed?
I think that's quite possible, and I know the parent council are certainly looking to support the school in terms of funding and looking for ideas on how they can help the school. So yes, I think that would be a good thing for the school.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
McDonald's a local resident in Huntley, and she's also a teacher at the Gordon Schools. We decided to ask her opinion on pupils going up. Does pupils going up the street affect you doing things in town?
Personally, I try to avoid going up the street at times when the pupils will be around. So in a way I suppose it does, because I am choosing to avoid busy times.
Do you think it's a good thing for the local businesses?
I do think it's a good thing for local businesses. I'm very sure that the pupils spend a lot of money in their shops, which is obviously a good thing for them.
What do you think are the disadvantages of the pupils going up the street?
I think, sometimes when there's a big crowd of pupils, it can be quite intimidating. I mean, generally the pupils that you see up the street are very well mannered and they'll move out your way, but you get one or two that are maybe having a bit of a carry on and can block your way, and also litter can sometimes be a bit of an issue.
How do you think it affects the other locals?
Again, I think it can just be, for elderly people in particular, a bit intimidating when they see large groups of pupils walking towards them or blocking shop doors.
We have heard from the public, the teachers and the pupils, and I think it's a matter of opinion whether going up the street is a good thing or not. But we can tell that there is things that it helps, but it does affect the locals. I am Corey Copson reporting for BBC School Report.